No longer any question the FBI conspired to crush people's civil rights. Folks, I'm sorry that we're at the point where I have to tell you not to talk to the FBI if you are a Republican. We do not live with a serious law enforcement entity anymore at the FBI.
All right, you know who that was? That was Don Bongino talking a really big game back when he was just a right-wing talking head. Not one of the most powerful people in this country, the deputy director of the FBI. He used to spend his days, as you saw there, bashing the bureau that he actually now works for and peddling crazy conspiracy theories. You know, things like that Jeffrey Epstein, the convicted sex offender, didn't actually die by suicide in prison in 2019, which he did. Bongino promised that he would, quote, not ever let this story go. That is, of course, before he was tapped to help lead the bureau. And now he is singing a very different tune.
You're going to see there's no one there but him.
Right.
There's just nobody there. So I say to people all the time, if you have a tip, let us know. But there's no DNA, there's no audio, there's no fingerprints, there's no suspects, there's no accomplices, there's no tips, there is nothing. If you have it, I'm happy to see it. There's video clear as day. He's the only person in there and the only person coming out. You can see it.
There you go. He's realizing that maybe things are a lot different when you're actually in government, and this notion of a deep state conspiracy of people trying to cover up one of the most high-profile suicides in this country is not going to work. So he's like, he's out here like trying to, you know, sing a different tune.
Well, maybe there's more to governing than being a online edgelord.
Right.
That's what we are learning here.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, but this kind of stuff has seduced millions of Americans.
It's true.
Who are so dedicated to these conspiracy theories that they actually are turning on him and mad at Bongino now.
Yeah.
Someone who was one of their fiercest warriors and on their side for so long, he takes this one step and is trying to speak to them directly and say, no, trust me, I've taken a look. And he's being sort of pushed out of the fold now. And that's frightening to me, I guess.
When you build your career as a conspiracy theorist, and a lot of the right-wing media system just lives and thrives off of these conspiracy theories, whether it's like QAnon and Hollywood and all this kind of, you know, Jeffrey Epstein stuff. They make a career out of it. It's profitable. They realize people will consume it. It raises their profile in these right-wing circles. Then they get the attention of powerful people like the President of the United States, who taps them into these powerful positions. And then they realize, like, holy, we have responsibility now.
Yeah, but it takes on a life of its own.
No,
it's
that's
like
what I mean. And now they're
it can come back and run you over.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay. So I agree. All of the conspiracy theorizing and like feeding the tinfoil hat people, bad. However, I can't believe I'm going to defend Bongino here, but I would rather have a conversion like Bongino seems to have had than like RFK Jr., right? Who is still embracing the conspiracy theories and using the power of his office to spread them
Is that
further.
because people don't look at the Health and Human Services Department with the same way that we look at
I don't think they can look at it the same way.
Meaning like that people in law enforcement, they will stand up to Dan Bongino and Kash Patel and be like, wait a minute, we got to show you this so you can stop, you know, spouting this nonsense that you're doing. Whereas like with RFK, they bring him the science and they bring him the data and he's like, I don't know how to read this.
Or they put it into ChatGPT.
Yeah, and they show him like, hey.
Generate fake studies,
Yes.
right.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we have talked about how the CDC contradicted in a gentle way RFK Jr.'s tweet missive saying, you know, we're no longer going to recommend COVID vaccines to pregnant women and children. So there's a little bit of pushback there. I don't know what the culture is like within the FBI, within law enforcement, to what extent the people who are left, because remember, a lot of the leadership people have been pushed out.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know to what extent the people who are there are motivated.
So part of the challenge for them, right, is they promised that they're like Pam Bondi had promised, like, we're going to reveal these explosive details. We've got binders that we're giving to right-wing influencers. But if you don't have it, you simply do not have it.
Right.
Whereas I think RFK Jr. maybe is able to, you know.
Well, if you thought the administration was done with conspiracy theories, they still have another one coming up because Kash Patel promised big news on the January 6th investigation. Not to mention.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, and also the disappointment that the right wing had about the JFK files as well. You remember that was a big talking point on the right for a long time. Like, is he going to release the JFK files? We're still waiting on the Area 51 files. So no shortage of conspiracy theories.
Those are the ones I want.
The Area 51?
Yeah.
You got it. We'll see what Kash Patel can dig up for you.